And figs are extremely easy to take cuttings off of. I mean, like, super easy. If you had one fig tree, you could have as many figs as you wanted, and I'll show you how to do that. What is up, guys? This is Jason from Cog Hill Farm. You may be wondering why I said it like that. Is because for some reason YouTube never gets that. Never. When the closed captions come up, it says sometimes the most god-awful things, and sometimes it says I'm from Nova Scotia. How do you get Nova Scotia out of Jason from Cog Hill Farm? I don't get it. But in today's video, we're going to talk about my favorite fruit tree, and we're going to feed them. You know, maybe early for some, but we're in the southeast Alabama. We're in zone 8, getting close to time to fertilize the few fruit trees we have. Absolutely love figs, and for one reason, they're so darn easy to grow, especially in our area. I mean, figs are so easy. It's so humid, my glasses are fogging up. Let's throw some fertilizer out and let's talk about figs. This monstrous fig here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a pretty big fig tree. It is 4 years old, and it was in a 1-gallon pot. That shows you what a fig tree can do. I actually should have cut this big piece down this winter, but I just never got around to it. I'm just gonna let it go this year. But this is supposedly a black mission fig. I'm not 100% certain that's the case. I'm thinking it may be a LSU purple, but regardless, it was labeled black mission, so that's what I'm going to call it. It has done extremely well here. I got several figs planted here. I got one here, right here, but this one gets too much shade. I just recently moved this one here and this one right here. They were both in areas that didn't get enough sun, and they produced pretty good sized plants and leaves and all that. Just wasn't producing any fruit because just not enough sun with them. So hopefully where I got them now, they're gonna get a lot more sun and just take off. They're showing no signs of stress at all from me moving them, which is wonderful. And mainly probably because it's been raining here at least 3 days out of the week for the last, well, let's see, probably since the mid-October. At least 3 times a week. Rain, rain, rain. By far, one of the wettest years I can ever remember. It's early spring on figs, and then I may hit them again with some fertilizer in July, August, and then that's it for me. Now, some people may do other things. Got help today. But that's what I'm gonna do. And what am I gonna use? What are you gonna use? Well, I just use what I got. That's just what I use. I have pretty figs. Is at the end of the growing seasons or end of the summers, you can find great deals on fertilizers, especially if you grow organic. I mean, I probably got 15 bags of this stuff here, maybe even more. I'll buy all the organic fertilizers that I can at the end of the growing seasons. And not only that, you can find organic bone meal, you can find organic blood meal. It's just an array of stuff that you can find at the end of the growing season, especially at these big box stores. So today, this is what I got. Eco Scraps, which is a fertilizer that is basically compost that they turn into pellets, and it is a 5-4-6. Most of this organic stuff's gonna be super low, so you really don't have to worry about burning anything up. I've hardly ever seen any organic fertilizers super high in nitrogen. The thing you have to worry about with organic fertilizer, especially for us, this is organic, so this stuff can attract the birds, the ducks, the chickens, the pig. Bone meal especially. You have to be really careful with bone meal, and especially if you have dogs. We planted some bulbs one year and put bone meal in there, and the next day the whole bed was just dug up from a neighbor's dog. You can put this stuff all around it. You know, most people's Conventional wisdom is to put it right there, right here at the base like this. And that's fine, but usually typically on trees, their roots are just gonna spread out. So it's probably not that many roots right there. So you wanna put it all around. With all the rain we're getting, I don't have to worry about watering it in. The other ones I have here are, I got some brown turkey figs. Speaking of turkey. What's up, Jive Turkey? Mr. Thomas. I got brown turkey. I think I do got some LSU purples. I got a green one, a green fig. Another thing about the figs is they can tolerate some water. My area is wet. If it's super wet, it won't tolerate water at all. I mean, it's just too much water. But it will tolerate some water. Which is great. They drink a lot of water. Ain't that right? This was a cutting that I took off a fig, and figs are extremely easy to take cuttings off of. I mean, like, super easy. If you had one fig tree, you could have as many figs as you wanted, and I'll show you how I do that. This will be its second year probably from being a cutting, and I'll show you a cutting that I took that I just planted. It's super small, and I'll show you the size of it, and then we'll gauge it throughout the year, and we'll see how big that sucker gets. One thing about this organic fertilizer, you can spread it out by your hands, and I generally do, but I got me a cheap measuring cup. Not that I'm measuring, just that this stuff has a, I don't know, if you mess with organic fertilizer, it doesn't smell like chemicals or anything. It's just, it's not a bad smell, but it's got a smell to it, and they all smell just about alike, and if you get it on your hands, it kind of stays there for the rest of the day. Here's the cutting that we just planted. One stem, you can see it right here. A one stem cutting. I put this little fence around it. It's not held on or anything. It's just a reminder that there's a little cutting here, because we could actually just run over it with something by not seeing it. You could put a piece of flagging on it if you want to. Another thing that I've been doing with the figs as a little experiment is I've been dumping rabbit manure around them every now and then when I get it, a load of it, because I got so much of it. What is awesome about figs are there are a gazillion varieties of figs. So there's probably one that you can grow in your area. Absolutely. So you'd have to do your own research there. So let me show you where you can get your cuttings. This is your old growth. This is going to be your new growth here. And this may not be the exact time of year to do this, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. You can see I got some budding going on here, and you just want to cut this off at a slant like that right here. Sometimes they have leaves on it. They got leaves on it. You can leave a leaf or two on there. That's perfectly fine. Some people even suggest that. We're going to take us a few of these. So I got 4 cuttings right here. Now let me show you what we're going to do with them. Alright, so this is what I do. This is what I've been doing lately because it's just easier for me. But you can really do this several ways. There's a lot of ways that you can get these bad boys to root. The way that I've done it in the past is I've wrapped a damp paper towel around one, put it in a plastic bag, and put it above the refrigerator. The heat off the refrigerator, and that creates that damp environment inside that bag, kind of imitates a greenhouse, and it'll root. The only issue with that is you got to check it all the time, and you can't, and it's so easy to forget that sucker sitting on top of the refrigerator. But it will root. You can also just put these things in water. See, just in a glass of water or just in water, and it will root. The way I like to do it is, because it's easy for me, is I just take a pot, and this is just some pots I had, and I just put potting soil in it. I'm going to stick this thing down in here. fairly deep, as you can see. And I'm gonna keep this thing watered. That's it. They all may not take. They may all take. I don't know, but it didn't cost me nothing, so I could do 100 of these things. But from my experience in the past, these things they're gonna root. And since I already got them in this pot, I just keep this thing watered. Eventually, this will be the pot that the tree will start growing in, and then I just take this out and go plant it. It's so easy. Figs are so easy, so hardy. You could take one of those fig trees down there that's well established, that's several years old, and cut that sucker down to the ground, and it'll pop right back and be just as big as it was when you cut it down in just a matter of no time. But the main thing with these guys is you got to keep that that pot and soil. You got to keep this pot and soil moist at all times. You don't want it to dry out. I mean, I don't even use that root hormone. I mean, if I have some, I'll use it, but for the most part, I don't do anything. Take the cutting, put the pot and soil down, and keep it moist. You're not going to want these things in the blazing sun right off the bat. You're going to want them to get established. So, outside's fine. You could even do this inside. Like I said, I've started the cuttings, the rootings on top of a refrigerator. Another thing that I like to do on stuff like this is something that I maybe don't do all the time, so there's not a habit of me coming out here watering these things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set me a daily reminder on my phone that's going to remind me to come out here and water them. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video today. If you want to see more of our garden videos, check out this playlist right over here. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, hit that subscribe button right down below. Y'all be good.
There ain't nobody gonna take from me. That is set to live your life